What's something you talk about in your book that even your closest friends or family might not know about? Hi besties, welcome back, and if you're new here, even better. I'm Tiana, and if you saw my last video, you know I just announced my new book called Loving the Hell Out of Me. I've gotten so many thoughtful questions from you, so I thought, why not do a Q&A? This way I can share more about the story behind it and what you can expect in this lovely 300 and something page book from me. Before we dive into these questions, I just want to take a moment and honor my Heavenly Father. He's the one who's taken the good, the bad, and even the ugly parts of my life and turned them into a beautiful story. It's such an honor to be chosen to write, to share, and to give glory back to Him through this beautiful book. None of this would be possible without Him holding the pen, because I wouldn't be able to be an author without the author. I've got all of your questions on these cute cards, and I will be answering them one by one. Let's get started on these questions. A lot was going through my mind. At the time, this was like one of the worst things that I felt like happened to me, because I didn't know if I was going to still be able to try again, like go back to law school. Am I really going to be able to be an attorney now? And then it was just so many thoughts going in my mind, especially because that wasn't the only thing that was going on at the time. Obviously, I talk about it more in depth in the book, but during that last semester in law school, it was spring semester, there was mold all over my apartment. And despite me like sending pictures to my landlord and begging her to bring a mold inspector in, telling her that, hey, it's making me sick, it's even worse because I have asthma, and her literally not giving two pennies about it. It was that, and then on top of that, I was already on academic probation. I felt like I was drowning. I felt like I was alone in the whole thing. I would reach out to, I can't remember what the title actually was, but it was like student advisory or student something, where all the students get a chance to go ask for help, ask for resources, and the resources was very bare, to the point where I just went straight to the president of the school. I went straight to her office and was practically begging for help, like begging, please. I moved all the way from Tennessee to be in law school. This has been my dream. I need help. I'm on academic probation, and the only time I get an email from the school is when they're saying that I'm barred from this organization or that organization because I'm on academic probation. So I already felt like I was drowning, and I kept getting sick because of the mold. Listen, I cared more about law school. And then when I got the letter saying that I was up for dismissal, but I had a chance to petition it, I didn't like how they did it. I'm not gonna go into that. You can read about it yourself. But I just remember begging God to not let that school take that from me. And when I say that, I mean that dream that I've always had. Like, I've been working towards this, pursuing this, fighting for this, not giving up on this for now 19 years. So I just feel like it's not so much that, oh, I've worked so hard on it, because I have this complex where even if at the time I did my best, I could have did better, but just the fight it took to get that position, and I felt like they were about to just rip it from me, and I just was begging God, please God, don't let them take this from me, like, please. I mean, I was begging. I was just so heartbroken. The day I got the decision where the petition was denied, I couldn't even deal with it that day because my best friend had came to California to visit and we already had like dinner date plans. So instead of actually dealing with it, I got dressed, went to the dinner, we chopped it up. I didn't even tell anybody. I still didn't deal with it when I went back home because, okay, we got to figure out a next move. I can't keep living in this moldy apartment with this landlord who don't care. Can I really keep living in California because school was paying for my housing? So I didn't know what to do. And I had like this much time. So it was a lot going on. And when the decision came that it was just final, I was dismissed, I thought I failed God. I thought like I just disappointed him. I thought that truly, I know hindsight, it doesn't make sense to think that I have the ability to do so, but I really just thought I messed up the plans that he had. I thought, God, you told me to look for schools in California, and I did, and I got here and I just like blew it. Because my whole heart, even if I don't always represent it the way I would like to, my whole heart just really wants to make God proud in like whatever I do. And so me being dismissed from a school that I feel like he placed me in, and I got academically dismissed. I even remember once I got to grad school, my dad would call and ask about school. The whole time he was thinking I was still in law school, but I had already been dismissed because I just felt so much shame. And no one wants to announce that they were dismissed from law school. I mean, like, no one wants to talk about that. It's so much shame and guilt from that. I couldn't find a single video on YouTube about like what to do next. The school that dismissed me, they just was like, good luck. They didn't like give me any tools. They didn't even say like, baby, you could try again. I believe in you. You got this. This doesn't mean that all is failed. Like, I had to do my own research to even find out the fact that just because you're dismissed from one law school doesn't mean it's over for you. You can still be an attorney. I didn't even know that was a thing, that you could go to law school and be academically dismissed. I didn't know, oh, if you fall in at 30%, you're booted, you're gone. I didn't know that there are people that has to fail. That's just what it is. Somebody got to get the F's, and it doesn't really matter how hard you work. That's just how their system was. I didn't know that on the first semester that you start at that school, the people that you started with aren't going to be the people that make it to the next semester. Now, granted, that's not all law schools, and I also didn't know that either, but they made it seem like that's just what it is. I mean, like, it is what it is. You're just gonna have to figure it out. You want it, you got it. I didn't know any of the stuff that I know now. I didn't know that then. I truly felt like a loser. I kid you not. I just remember one night, once I finally got into a new apartment and classes had started, because I went to grad school, classes had started, and I actually had a chance to really process what just happened. I sat in my living room floor and I cried, and I said, and I've never felt this way before, but I said, I'm such a loser. That was a low for me. And I've had a good amount of lows, but that was a low for me. And then also, I didn't know who to talk to about this. So I also felt alone. I was too shameful to even tell. I mean, it took me 6 months to tell my dad. I even had guilt about the fact that I didn't tell him, and he's calling me, asking me about school, and I'm basically lying. Kinda, like, yeah, I'm in school, but I'm not in the school that he thinks I'm in. So I also felt guilt about that because I felt like I was lying. So it was so much. But to chop it up, I felt like I failed God, and I just felt like I just made the plans, whatever plans God had for me, I just ruined it. Until he assured me, I'm going to say it how he said it to me. Who told you you had enough power to mess up my will for you? That just like changed my whole perspective. And then of course after that, like the healing and refining and things like that, and a lot of reassurance, very patient and very gentle, just to let me know that it was a part of the plan anyway. And he knows that if anything, I'ma tell the testimony. If anything, I'ma tell people what God did for me, because I just need you to know, if he could do it for me, he could do it for you, period. This might sound very corny and frustrating, because it did sound that way for me before I actually started walking in it. But unlike others, I'm going to really break this down for you. The best way to begin the process of letting God remove the hell out of you is to focus on him. I know it's like, well, duh. And I know we say that all the time. I promise you, I get it. Before I even started walking in it, that statement was very, very frustrating. I mean, even the statement of talk to God about it was very frustrating. So it's kind of ironic that my podcast is called Talk to God About It. But seriously, that's really how you start. I was brought up in the church, not religion. I'm talking about praying in tongues, actually going over scripture. I'm talking about that church. I was raised by my grandparents, who are also pastors of said church. But even with all of that, I wasn't reading my Bible. I just started reading my Bible like 2 years ago. I wasn't spending time with him to get something other than I just wanted to know for myself. I'm like, okay, God, I've heard my whole life that you love me, but I don't know what that means. I don't know what that looks like for me. Make it personal. I know you sent your son to die on the cross for me. I don't know what that means. I don't know you. I'm doing this because I just want to get to know you. It's not like on some, I'm all in, it's all or nothing. It's really just I'm just getting to know you. That's it. I kept that going. And then 2-3 scriptures turned into 6-7 scriptures, which turned into a chapter, which turned into a couple chapters, which turned into finding other books about Christ and how to walk in faith and how much God loves you. And that it kept building, and that turned into my taste buds changing. I went from doing this to no longer doing it, or I liked watching these shows, and now I don't watch them anymore. And that's not anything that I did. So when I say how to begin it, is let him do it. He does the pruning. We don't. He does the refining. We don't. He does the spiritual growth. We don't. John chapter 15, he's the gardener. I promise, I had nothing to do with the healing process. I was just seeking him because I wanted to get to know him. I wanted to see what everybody has been telling me about him my whole life. I want to know what that's like. I just wanted to see for myself, and it was so cultivating. Like, I couldn't get enough. That's when the forgotten stuff wasn't forgotten no more. That's when the old lifestyle, the old sin, the old ways, the old mindsets, they had to go. This is the truth. Hear me. Anyone who is constantly in the presence of God will never be the same, because you will constantly be in his presence to where you will start to look like him and act like him and love like him and see like him and give mercy like him and give grace like him and think like him. The more you are in his presence, the more change will happen. Hell has to go if you're in the presence of God. Wounds have to heal if you're in the presence of God. Mindsets have to change if you're in the presence of God. Restoration has to come if you're in the presence of God. A renewed mind has to happen when you're in the presence of God. You want to be healed. You want the healing process to begin. Don't try to start the healing process. Just focus on God. Seek first the kingdom. I promise you. That's it. The encouragement that I can give you is this one thing. Every mistake, every mishap, every detour, every sinful thought, every sinful act, every single thing has already been accounted for. When we see Romans 8:28, all things work together for the good, I don't know if we really take that into account of not just all the things that happen to us, but all the things that we do that aren't good. Yeah. So that means all the bad stuff we do, all the sinful stuff we do, all the unholy thoughts that we have, all the unforgiveness that we had, and now we're forgiving them, all the times where we chose other things instead of choosing him. All things, that means the good, the bad, and the ugly, all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and who is called according to his purpose. That means all the things that you have done to people that was wrong, he's gonna work it out. All the things like you thought you failed God because you don't think you made the right decision, etc., or even the thought that you think God has forgotten about you, I promise you, he has already took everything into account. I promise you, he made the plan accordingly. He knows every single thing about you and still made the plan personalized because he knows the mistakes that you're gonna make. He knows the ugly thoughts that you're gonna have. He knows the bad attitude that you're gonna have. He knows that rebellious spirit that you're gonna have. He knows all of those things. He knows about the addictions that you're gonna have. He knows about the dislikes and the likes that aren't according to his will. He knows all of that already. That one mistake that I did done messed up the whole will of God. Like I said before, I'm gonna say it just like he said it. Who told you that you had the power to mess up my will for you? You got to put that in perspective. The creator of the heavens and earth and everything in between, the creator of you, and you think you have the power to mess up the one who created you. You think you have enough power to mess up his will for you? The Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I don't think so. So just remember that not only the crazy past that you may have will work together for your good, but there's nothing that you could do that will mess up his will for you. He has the final say, period. One thing I hope you remember after reading is that God really does love you. I don't think we know or will ever know what that actually means. We're never going to be able to truly fathom his love for us. We're never going to understand why he loves us that much. It's too deep to actually truly understand and fathom. However, I want you all to remember that everything that you have ever done, everything that you're doing right now, and everything that you will ever do in the future, he knows everything. Every single thing about you. He knows those thoughts that you have. He knows those things that you've never said out loud and probably will never say out loud. It was out loud to him. Even though he knew all of that before you were even here, he still did not change his mind about you. That is what I want all my readers to know. That regardless of what you went through, what you've done, how you saw him once upon a time, he still wants you. He still chooses you. We're talking about a father who sent his son, who was perfect. So if perfection is what he was after, his son would have been enough. But it wasn't. He chose you, knowing that there was a possibility that you would never choose him, but he chose you anyway. And I think there is a disconnect. Oh, he chose us that day, and the reality is he chooses us every second of the day. When King David said in the book of Psalms, what are humans that you care about them so much? We are his heart. His heart longs for us. And I think sometimes when we think about the gospel, we're not really able to connect with it because we think, oh, it was so long ago. And I completely understand that. But we're talking about a father who did everything for us. Everything. He did everything with us in mind. I want you to remember that whatever hell that was created in you, whatever hell that you caused, whatever hell that burnt bridges, he never changed his mind. And he's never going to change his mind about you. He wants you. And he's wanted you from the very beginning. Now the confessional. Now, this is a confessional question, but I will not go into great detail about it. However, to answer this question, I talk about a 16-year addiction that I had. I go in great detail about it. And even though I won't give you the details, I will tell you that it is in the chapter that is called 99 plus 1. That's it for today's Q&A, but don't go too far. I have one more confessional question waiting for you in part 2. So be sure to tune in for that. And as always, God bless. Bye, bestie.